I wanted to ask you, what is it that you learned from this? Okay, I know what it was. You didn't mention it, but I know what it was. What is it that you have taken away from this summer that, has affected you?
I didn't think about this question all this time. I totally forgot that you asked me that, but
right. Yeah, you said it to me earlier this year when you came back from Las Vegas, and so I just want to know if you remember what that is. Remember what you said about wanting to spend more time with family?
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Oh, yeah. But that was before. That's why I wanted to do the trip to Las Vegas, because it was right after you did my retirement thing, and that was the first time I had been around them in a long time.
Yeah.
And so that made me do Las Vegas, and it made me make sure I made a trip home to California in August to the Luau, which I've never been to before.
Right. And you said to me that because of the family situation, what we did for your retirement, that you wanted to spend more time visiting family. You knew that was important to you. And what I took from you was that it was something that was a nice to do, but now you realize it's something that you kind of need to do.
Yeah, it's important to do, but I don't think I had before my retirement thing, I don't think I prioritized it.
Right.
Because I hadn't been home in 6 years. Now, 3 of those years was pandemic, but 3 of them was I just didn't go home.
Yeah, and you didn't. Family, like seeing your brother when we went to Ebony's wedding,
Arkansas,
and then seeing your family when they came here. I think that triggered something in you that was like missing, that you felt like, okay, I need to make sure I cultivate this.
Yeah.
And so now, I think especially when we went out to Las Vegas, testing that out to see if I can travel with you, because I'm still working, and so I may need to be able to work and still do stuff. So we found out that was feasible. But then one of the things that I learned was that, and I think I knew this already, but I think it became very clear to me that it's okay to have fun together, but it's also necessary to have fun doing your own thing by yourself.
That was your lesson?
That was one of my lessons. Yeah.
I don't like that lesson.
You don't like it?
No.
Why?
I like, if I had my rathers, I always want you and my family together.
You don't.
But you say that. That's because you don't get all my attention.
You know what? No, that's not it at all.
But my point is, I always like I said when we was in Las Vegas on that podcast, I like it when it's, even though if you in the room.
Yes.
We may not be.
You know why?
Why?
Because you like me taking care of things.
No, I do like that, but that's not necessarily why I want you there.
Why? Because
it's just like when we're home, and I'd rather you be home and somewhere else, even if we're not in the same room. I feel comfortable with you just being around me here, whatever. I could be upstairs, you could be down here, whatever. But it's a different feeling if you're not here and we're like apart. I'd rather us be together, even if we're not doing anything. Spending time together. I've always said that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Right. Yeah, that's sometimes a waste of my time.
Like, I know, but
I understand.
If I had my rathers,
I understand.
I'd rather you still be around.
I understand what you're saying. And I'm not opposed to it. That's why I went to Las Vegas, because I wanted to be there around and make sure that everything was taken care of. I also know that you are spoiled heavily when it comes to traveling, because when you travel with me, I take care of everything.
Whose fault is that?
I'm not saying there's a fault. I'm saying what is the case is that you are very spoiled. And so when you don't travel with me, your entitlement comes out around the people that you travel with.
No, when I don't, first of all, I have to think when I don't travel with you, I gotta do the plane stuff. Before, if we at the airport, I just follow you. You get everything. I just follow and get on the plane. But when I'm by myself, it's like, oh, okay. Wait, I gotta do this. Get to the computer, get the luggage.
Right, when you do that though, then you also when you revert back to Bernadette Walls don't fit in places Bernadette Walls used to fit no more.
Well, the places are different. Everything is different.
Huh?
When you say that, what do you mean?
I mean that when you show up in other spaces where you are you are being who you used to be, the place that was there for you, who you used to be, is not there for you no more.
I just said that everything is different. And so even though I'm Bernadette Walls, when I show up, Bernadette Wiggins comes out.
Yeah.
Which does not fit in a lot of these places.
Right.
Because these different things be happening that don't happen here in Maryland. And so when I be trying to ask questions or wonder, why is this? Wait, maybe we should. That don't go with how stuff go at other places.
One of your I think you told me that you said that your sisters were like, you sound like a wife.
My when we was on our driving
Talk
back.
about that. What do they mean about that?
I don't remember what I said, but we was on our way back from LA, because it's like a 5-hour drive from LA back to Oakland, California, because that's where the luau was, in Pasadena, California. So my sister lives in Oakland. So we were driving back, and one of my sisters, I forget what I said in the car, but it was showing some kind of concern about something. I think I said maybe we should do this, because it made sense to me about maybe if we did this would make more sense, because there's concern and maybe this. And then that's what I can't remember what it was about. But then she said, you sound like a wife, whatever, because I don't think they even think about some of the stuff the way I be thinking, because it's just different.
Right. What I learned from it, another thing that I learned was that, I want to expound upon what I said about doing things by yourself, because just like when you went to California, you were able to go to the wedding, the wedding dress shopping.
Yeah.
And you are able to have those moments with your niece and your aunties and your sisters. I definitely would not have gone to that.
No, you wouldn't.
And I would not have wanted to go to that, even if I was there, and I would have had to find something else to do. So I think that was good for you to be there. Also, it doesn't put me in the role of being the person who has to try to bring some sort of
activity, or
not activity,
normalcy,
not normalcy, order for you. That's it. Because when I'm there, I've got to look out for you and what I know I provide for you. But if we're in a different space and the flow, it doesn't operate that way, then it's like, it's like I have to flow with the flow and not like try to take over.
Yeah, but when you come, I'm in that flow. Like, for example,
but you're not. You're not.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
To a certain extent. Listen, wait a minute.
I'm calm. I'm pretty calm. But
no, because even if you would have came to Oakland to my sister's house, like when I go by myself, I just stay with my sister. If you come, we get a hotel room and we gotta get a car.
Expensive.
Right, we gotta get a car. Otherwise, I just come with my sister. I'm right around with her in her car. But see, when you come, I'm on whatever plan me and you are doing, as opposed to when I'm there by myself.
No, you're
like
not.
To Oakley. How is that
because
not
when
possible?
we went to Las Vegas, we were not
You were working. That was different.
I know that.
Different.
Well, okay.
But had you went there and you wasn't working, you would have had all these things planned out, and I would have been a part of that. But you had to work all day, and then. So I mean, I think it was different. You had to work, and then you wanted to like.
But I think your time and your intention is split between.
It is split.
Oh, I got to do this with my family. Oh, I got to make sure Heath is okay.
It helped that you were working in Las Vegas, because I didn't have to. In the daytime, we needed to leave.
But I see how you move around your family, and so I know that the way you move around your family is it's completely different than how you move when you're not around your family. And I'm not saying I don't want you to do that.
It is different,
but I'm saying this, which is why I think it's important to travel and to do things independently and have fun independently, because you need the space to be able to be that person.
Yeah.
Just like I need the space to be able to go to Atlantic City.
But you do all that stuff all the time.
No, but my point I was making is I forgot to mention that in Atlantic City, I didn't have a place to sleep that night. So I slept at a Walmart parking lot.
Oh, yeah, in the RV.
And I was perfectly fine with that, with the shotgun in the RV.
I would have been uncomfortable with that.
Right. And so I would have had to be mindful of your uncomfort. And I'd have had to either be like, okay, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. Everything's all right. I had to like overly calm you down, or you just would have been
overly calm me down. Really?
Yeah. I mean,
but you know what?
I had to reassure you. That's what I mean. I had to reassure you that you'd be safe, and then make sure that I put whatever plan A, B, C in place.
So you would have been being a husband, a good husband are.
But the aspects of husbandry that I would be doing is reassurance and safety.
Exactly.
Which is what I didn't have to worry about.
Exactly.
I didn't have to worry about when I was by myself, because I was like, okay, I'm going to pull up. I was a little nervous because there was a security guard rolling around the parking lot. I thought he was going to kick me out. But when I saw he didn't kick me out, I was like, oh, I'm safe. He's making sure I'm good.
But let me tell you why I would be uncomfortable with that, because I was watching something on YouTube, and this van life girl, I don't know if she's somebody you watch. It's like she's probably middle age, in her 30s, curly short hair with glasses. Anyway, she comes up on my thing, but it's probably somebody I used to watch. But she has a tiny little van thing that she lives in or whatever. And she said, oh, I'm just going to sleep here in the parking lot. She said it looked safe and it was perfect. And she pulled up next to the tree. And then she said, I'm just going to take a nap. And she laid down to take a nap. And then she said something told her to get up. And right when she got up, a man had came, saw her. She was the only one in this parking lot. I don't know where it was. He saw that van parked over there, got out and walked over to her door, and she went and did some extra lock. She had a lock on, but she had some kind of extra lock you put on. And right when she put an extra lock on, because he went and tried to open the door, like, I don't know what he was going to do, whatever, but she got up and then just left. And I was like, see, that's why random parking lots,
Understood.
That's why that would make me uncomfortable. But, I just saw that just the other day.
Which is why going by myself, I don't have to worry about that. If somebody, and I had already had a plan A and B.
And you have protection in there too.
Right. So
just hope you don't have to use it ever.
Yeah, me too. But I have a plan for what happens if I do, and I put it right in a place that if I need to get up and grab it, I'm gonna get up and grab it.
Yeah, you did that when we were in Pennsylvania too.
Yeah. So I think you need to. There's times with you to travel together and do things together. And have fun together.
I think it is good. I just like it. I like both.
I do too.
I like when we.
But I think it's. Go ahead.
I like when I'm with my family, and then I like by myself, and then I also like when you there with me and my family. I like both.
Yes.
But I think it is when necessary.
I don't have to be a husband. So
exactly. Because guess what kind of cooking I was doing when I was gone? Nada.
So 3 reasons why I think it's important to have fun as you get older. Because one, you're getting older, and you don't know how you're going to feel. You don't know how you're going to feel about doing the things that you wanted to do when you were younger. So that is a thing now for me with this RV situation. When I was younger, I was like, oh, yes, RV. I want to do all the things. I'm ready for all the smoke. I'm ready to do all the things. Mm-hmm. But now that I'm older and I'm moving into a phase where I don't feel like fixing everything and feel like doing all the work and repairing everything. It's like I'm looking at the RV like, do I really feel like doing all this?
Can I tell y'all what kind of phase he fits in?
What phase am I in, Bernie?
You in a cruise phase. And when I say cruise phase,
yes,
you know
I
how
am.
you go on a cruise and then you sit down and eat, and then you go sit down and eat, and then you get up from the table. Actually, you could get all the dishes on the menu, but you don't pay nothing. You just get up and leave. Or then you walk by and there's a pizza cafe. And just get some pizza. You don't got to pay. You just get it and say thank you and walk off.
It's great. It's perfect. That's how you should be.
He loves that lifestyle. Now we did many cruises, but at this age, he don't want to do no maintenance.
You know what it was?
He don't want to do nothing.
It was normal school. It was that house. It was 14 acres. It was all the things. All the things that you had to do to maintain the house and the property.
Yeah.
I don't want to play.
He's done playing now.
I don't want to play no more. I don't want to play no more.
I mean, if he could have where his father lived, like in a senior community, his father has his own apartment, but his father, they feed them 3 meals. He don't got to worry about what he eat. It's 3 meals a day. They come and clean the apartment once a week or whatever. They don't do nothing. Those places ain't
just
cheap
walk
either.
Places. That's all they do.
It's their own community.
Yeah.
They don't even have to leave there for anything.
Yeah.
Although they do
Dad
have a
hasn't
little shuttle bus.
months.
But they have a shuttle bus that
take
takes
you
them
to
to
the
the
store.
grocery store or the Target, and then they bring them back.
Or you can Instacart it. Whatever. I'm all for it.
Yeah, but he needs to find one for younger people because he ain't going to want to live around people that's 80 and 90. Because Dad's 86 and his girlfriend's 91.
Right. I don't want to live around those that age. But what I realize is like just in the example of the fixing of the RV and having to get every window replaced and having to
you don't want to do those things.
What I didn't show you on the RV is that when I was looking for why the water was wet, I thought it was coming from the roof, and I saw a problem on the roof that I did not notice before, that wasn't there when I bought it, that I had to fix. It was fixable, but I had to fix it. And then the window, I had to fix that, or I had to go pay to get it fixed.
Oh, it's getting into those maintenance area.
And then there's something that's wrong. And I recorded a video, but I didn't show it, of this a leak in the shower. I gotta take the shower framing door frame apart and then find out where the leak is and then caulk that leak up and then put everything back.
You've been caulking it, but it's not working.
That didn't work. Oh. Hopefully, when I put it back together, if I put it back together, it's going to be fine. But
at least you figured out the black tank situation.
Yeah, the black tank situation. I had to fix that because the black tank situation that they had before was a lie. It was a lie and it didn't work.
Every time he would come back from dumping that, he would come to the top of these stairs from the garage and would be butt naked. Okay, not butt naked, but just his underwear. And I'm like, what happened? I want to know what happened. And he still won't tell me. But I was like, okay, let's just don't use it until we figure out.
I mean, we figured out what the problem was.
Yeah, you figured it out. But I was like, I'm not going to use it anymore if you coming up those stairs.
The issue was
all your clothes
the man who was using whatever they did, whatever they said they did.
They said they never used it, but you believe that?
I don't know.
Okay.
I believe it because whatever he said was the process for him to use the black tank or his solution for it did not work. It didn't work.
He could not have ever done it to even know.
Because it did not work. Because he told me this is what you do. And I was like, okay. So when I did what he said do, that did not work.
I think we need to stop talking about it. Because my mind is going places that I don't want to think about.
All right. So, so you don't know how you're going to feel about the things that you want to do when you get older. That you like the whole. We wanted a log home. We were on.
We started that.
We were on a log home hard.
Time. Yes.
We were on. Spend money on log home. We actually bought a log home structure. We
went on log home tours and stuff.
Yeah, we went on log home tours. We went to log home conventions.
Yeah.
We were going to build a log home.
We even have people that see us a few years after we got married. It's like, did y'all get the log home? Because that's all we ever talked about.
Yeah.
But the more we went on them tours, see, this is the thing. We went on the, what do you call the houses when you go look at them? The model homes.
Model homes.
We be going to log home model homes. And every time we would go in there, we'd be like, we need to put some drywall because there's logs. The walls are logs.
Everything's a log.
So we was trying to put drywall here and drywall there, which made no sense. If you want log home, you want log home.
But
so we were like,
It smells too woody in here. It smells like pine.
I'm glad we didn't get that log home. First of all, it was too country on the inside, which is why we was doing we wanted to put drywall. But we didn't, what you don't know is about the maintenance of that wood.
Yeah, I did not factor that into the equation. But when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
But we no longer want to do that. So the things that you want to do when you are young, you may feel differently about them when you're older. So I say do them when you're young and you have an opportunity to do them.
Yeah.
Because it may be a dream of yours. Like right now, we want to do a loft. We have been wanting to do a loft, like an industrial New York style loft. But when we look at like what options we have available to us,
they don't have them in this area.
Yeah, and in the area that we want to live in, it's like, will we actually be able to do that? And so I'm feeling like let's hurry, let's just do it to say we did it, and then we can move on. But then it's like, do we want to do that? We want to spend the money, the time? I don't know. So that's why I say it's important to do things and have fun and do other things when you have opportunity.
You want to do it.
Yeah,
because your mind does shift. Yeah.
And the number 2 reason is you don't want to live with regret, which kind of ties to number 1. Number 1 is you don't know how you feel about it. But number 2 is if you get to a space where it's that time has passed you, then the older you get, the more you become close. You become very familiar with your fragility and your ailments and the things that you like. House music. Like, I'm glad I had a chance to get reconnected with house music where I would be dancing 7 hours and just go. Now I don't do that no more. Not in my 50s. I just don't do that. No. Now there is this one woman who goes that put me onto the whole house music scene in DC named Sherry Joyner. Shout out to Sherry.
Sherry
is in her 60s and dances more than everybody. And
be all on the floor, on the ground. So
my goal is keeping up with her. That's my goal, to be able to keep up with her. But
you better be careful. I mean, she just had shoulder surgery.
Right. That's because she injured it at work.
That wasn't from rolling on the ground.
She injured it at work. But I am glad that I was able to get back into that but my point is you don't want to live with regret and have the feeling like you're too ailed to do the things that you really wanted to do when you were younger. And so you want to make sure you get it done. So you only have one life to live.
True that.
Everybody says that, but the older you get, you realize
that's true.
The quality of life that you have to live is questionable when you're older. You don't know if you're going to get a disease, you're going to come down with some kind of illness, or if you got a family member. We have some clients that were taking care of, both parents were onsets of dementia and Alzheimer's. Like the husband had 2 parents, both of them were on the onsets. The wife had 2 parents, both of the parents were on the onset.
That's a lot.
And so you gotta care for one household, and they got 3 kids of themselves. That one was like just out of high school, another one was like an adult. So you gotta, they're in their 50s too. They're about my age, really. And it's a lot of work just to try to manage your family, your life, and you're taking care of your parents.
And even what you're dealing with your father right now, he's fine mentally and all that, whatever. But each fall that he has taken away some mobility.
That's true.
Which has had you to jump into this elderly care stuff that you're still dealing with. But the thing, just on this other side of getting older, the most important thing at this age is quality of life.
Right.
Because that's going to be important when you get into your 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
If the rapture don't come before.
Oh, Lord. What's the rapture? Brody wants the rapture to come before we eat dinner tomorrow. Good Lord.
I'm just tired. No. I don't want it to come. I want it to come, but I don't want it to come. This world is horrible. Every day it's like craziness. It's not me that wants it to come. It's all the things that are happening that makes me think it's around the corner. I really think Jesus is on a jet because there's just so many things. But I'm going to leave that alone. Okay, we've been going real long, and this seat is killing me.
Okay, last point.
I'm sitting differently than I normally sit, and it ain't right.
The reason why you should have fun is because when you think back, when you look back over my life and you think about all the things that you have done, you don't think about the things that you've bought, and you think about the things, the memories that you have, the fond memories you have are about experiences that you have with people. And so when you have fun, and when you think about the times you had as a child when they were fun, it wasn't about like some expensive thing or
the donut song.
Yeah.
We get together and we talk about those same stories when we was little because it's nostalgic.
They're the inconsequential things. And so invest in those times, invest in those memories, invest in those moments, invest in creating the spaces for these things to happen. and like going to California. I mean, going to Las Vegas to visit your aunt, and then staying in an Airbnb with your sister. I mean, you all sat outside in the cabana or the patio every morning, had your tea and your fruit.
They loved that. That was them. I was just doing it with them, but it was way too hot out there in Las Vegas.
That's true. It wasn't hot at that point. It got hot during the day.
You know me and heat, but they like love to sit out there and drink their coffee. But it was I did it because it was what do you call it? A connection thing,
a bonding thing
with my sisters. But so I would do it every morning with them, but I would never do that on my own. Never.
Right. But it's those bonding moments, it's those experiences that you create. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Las Vegas, is to give opportunity for you to create a moment that is something completely new that we've never done before. And that's what I think we have a lot of options to do in the RV by creating moments. And it's not even the fact that, we have a RV now, but it's like, what moments can we create with the RV? How can we go out and do things that are fun? How can we be a blessing to somebody by just being around someplace? Like when we went to the Poconos, we did not know we were there to be a blessing to the people that wanted an RV.
Oh yeah, all them people. We was giving tours.
By the end of the day, the guy who came up, the couple who came up to us, they said, "We've decided that we're going to get the kind of RV that you have."
Yeah,
we've decided we're going to do that now, and then we're going to, because he retires. His wife is retired now.
Yeah, she's already
retires
retired.
in 6 years.
Yeah,
and so he said we're going to get that now, and then we're going to see how we feel about it. And then after I retire, then he's going to get the 42-foot long.
Which is a good idea, because this RV that we have is a good first time RV, because you get to learn what you like and dislike, and it's one of the ones that's easier to drive around to the store, to a restaurant, and it fits. Like when we went to Ocean City, we just parked on the street like a regular car, and it wasn't like big and bodacious out the way. But if you have one of them 40, Greyhound bus ones, you can't be just get up and going. You're gonna have to bring a car.
I mean, you saw how I pulled up in church. I just parked in a regular parking lot.
Yeah,
but I parked way away. But when I came out, all the cars were parked around me. And I wasn't impeding anybody's
way. Yeah, it is perfect, like a little nice, and it's like perfect inside for 2 people. Yeah, even though 4 people could sleep, but it's really for 2 people. Yeah. That's how we used to say. Normal school is only for 2 people.
Only 2 people.
It would be crowded if other people came.
So create those moments. I wanted to say this part. Even like us getting the RV and going to the Poconos, because I believe that the Lord has, whenever the Bible says the Lord gives us things for our enjoyment. Mm-hmm. But even in those things that we do that are enjoyable and he gives for us our enjoyment, there's still purpose in those things. Like when we go out places or go do things and then we end up running into somebody, and then we may share something about our experience as a married couple that helps them and blesses them, but we're having fun in the process. Think about our whole experience with the Redmonds. Like the Redmonds are our accountability couple, and we spent the first, I don't know how many years.
That's why they call us their roomies. We've seen their children basically grow up.
Yeah, we spent the first maybe 10 years of our marriage hanging with them over their house, and
late nights. That's why they call us our roomies.
So I mean, the times that we had over there were priceless. We learned so much, and we got so much, and we gleaned so much, but it was enjoyable. Yeah. So there's still purpose in the enjoyment that you have, and I think where we are now is where I understand us to be now is. The things that we do that are enjoyable, God has a purpose for whatever we're doing to be a blessing or to be a linchpin or to be a connection for somebody. Yeah. I don't know what that is. I don't know how it's going to manifest, but that's what I know that our purpose is.
It's also not only for us to be a blessing for somebody, but when we go different places and do things, there's stuff waiting there for us, because we just had a conversation Saturday morning about the future and once we leave this place, and then we ended up meeting a couple at the picnic. True. At the church picnic.
That's true.
Who are living in a place that we were talking about we were just talking about that morning. Like, we might want to look into that later on down the road. So they had all this information for us on what it's like and this and that. So, and we got their contact information. So
it was funny because we went to the church picnic and we planned on sitting in our little canopy, a little tent thing, the blue thing that I had at the beach. We planned on sitting there, but it rained. We got rained out.
I'm laughing.
We got rained out, and so we sat underneath this big, huge tent that the church provided. And they were supposed to be playing Uno and spades underneath that tent. So there was tables and chairs set up for games. But we were the first ones there, and we just took the chairs out and put it in front of the table and sat down and ate our lunch because they provide lunch. And when the couple came in that tent,
first some other couples came.
That was like, I said, you all can sit here at the other end of the table. And they sat at the end of the table, and it ended up being a blessing for us.
Let me tell you why I was laughing. Because, first of all, when we came underneath that tent, nobody was in there.
Right.
But then, once people see people going to the tent, then other people start coming.
Right.
So first, another couple came and sat at a table in front of us. And so that couple that we actually met, they just came. Their chairs was in there, so they probably went to get their food. But they came back, and then they were just sitting like right behind that other couple in their chairs.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Hey, you guys can sit over here." And I'm thinking like, "Dad, why he asked?" In my mind, I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
see,
now we got to share this table."
It was a big, huge table.
But anyway, I was like, we was fine all by our little selves. And then he's such a people person, but I'm not. But anyway, I'm not like not a people person. I'm just not as much as him. But when he said, "Hey, y'all can sit on this table," I was like, "Oh, why did he do that?" But then
that's sad.
But that was my thought. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say nothing, and I was very cordial. And then I got to know the lady, and they told us, Rhonda. What was his name?
Eric.
They're very nice, and he's a very good artist.
Yeah.
He could really draw or whatever, but it was great. But that was actually
a blessing.
It was, because we just had that conversation that morning about where our next place would be, and that's where they're living.
It's moments like that that you want to make sure that you do. So going out, doing fun, and if we would have chose not to go to this cookout, we would not have met them and would not have had an opportunity to see them living the lives that we want to live next. So yeah. What do y'all think about this? Give us our comments or feedback about what you think about these three things, about why you should have fun together and also have fun apart. That's kind of what me and Bernie are experimenting in, and that's what this podcast is primarily about. It's trying to make sure that people focus not just on bills, businesses, babies, and the Bibles, and focus on having fun together and apart.
And apart now.
Yeah.
Which is good. Because I do plan to try to go home every year, but maybe not stay as long.
Right.
Because that was a little bit much for me. Because when I got back from LA, I really wanted to just get on a plane, but I had 3 more days. But I needed to do that because I wasn't sure what could happen in LA, and then I didn't want to be rushing to catch a plane on Monday because anything can happen, and I know, So I just put it to Wednesday for me to fly back out, but. Yeah. Okay,
y'all. We've gone way longer than we anticipated.
Way longer.
Thank you all for rocking with us this long. If you've done so thus far, please like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that you do on YouTube.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, that's the like part.
Oh, I was thinking the subscribe and like is the thumbs up.
Like is the thumbs up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Now you learn something new every day.
Right. All right, y'all. We will see y'all in the next one.
Bye.
Bye. Be out.